Hello everybody, it's Claire here from Sewn by Claire, and I've got another skill builder for you today. This one is how to tie a quick knot or how to make a quick knot in your needle, and it doesn't matter whether you're in a thick needle with some wool or whether you're in a smaller needle with just ordinary hand sewing polyester thread. And this knot is really easy to use. It's actually called a quilter's knot, but it works really well. So thank you to Georgina on my Facebook group for asking for this, and I hope this is slow enough and shows you what to do. So let's go first with the thicker thread and needle. So all you want to do is take your length of wool, in this case, or your length of thread, and we're just going to thread that with a needle. I mean, that's a quick thing to remember. If you need to thread something like this, if it's quite loose on the ends, like this piece of wool is here, then what you can do is if you fold it over your needle and then hold it tight with your finger and go down towards the thinnest side, that gives you a nice folded edge then that you can just thread through the eye of your needle. Let me just show you that again. So I'm taking the thread, putting it over the needle and holding it between my finger and my thumb. I don't want to get too close because you don't want to see my fingers too close, but I've just got the thread over the top of the needle, in this case the wool. Go down towards the thinnest point, not over the top, because you want to get this tighter the further you go down. So just pull your needle out and keep your fingers tight, and hopefully you can see in there I've just got a little fold of thread, and then just put the eye of your needle over the top, and that thread should then just pull through for you. So just to make that easier. In order to do the quilter's knot, what you do is you take the loose end of your thread, wool in this case, and you put it at right angles across your needle, across the top, to make a cross. And then you then hold it with your finger and thumb. So I'm just holding that wool in place, a little bit of a tail, holding it in place. And then we wrap round the needle. In this case, I probably need to do it twice, but you can do it 3 or 4 times if you're using a smaller needle. And then what you do is you then switch it over. So then I've got my yarn held in the rest of my hand here. So just holding onto it with my fingers. Any way you can is fine. You just need to keep a little bit of tension on the thread. And then I cross it over so that I let go with this finger and thumb, and I'm now holding with this finger and thumb. That's because I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, you'll do it the other way. And then you then just push through with the needle over the eye of the needle, holding those wraps in place over the barrel of your needle, and then just hold on to it and just keep pulling all the way down to the end. Okay, and then you'll just feel it just make a knot at the end. It'll just tighten at the bottom for you with your thread, and there you go. All you need to do then is to take off your loose end, however long you want, and then we've got the little tail, the little knot just there, which is usually enough for most things. So let me just snip that off, and I'll show you again with this wool. And obviously you rewind the video as many times as you like. So we've got a loose end and a threaded needle. So we put the loose end over the top of the needle, and then you hold it with your finger and your thumb in this hand, in your right hand. And then with your left hand you do 2 or 3 wraps. Let's do 3 wraps this time, just to show it still works, over the needle. And then holding the thread tight, because if you let go it just unravels off the needle. So you need to be able to hold on to those keep some tension on the wool. Then just cross over, so you put your finger and thumb over those wraps you've just created, and that leaves your other hand free. And then you can just push with your needle, and those wraps will go over the eye of the needle, and then you're still holding them tight as they go along the edge of the thread. Hold it tight all the way through until you feel a bump form under your finger and thumb, and there you've got your knot. Okay, so let's just try that now with a smaller needle. So again, same thing here, it's just a little bit fiddlier, that's all. So practice with the bigger needle. That was actually a darning needle that I've used there, so that's a good way to start. So again, we've got a loose thread at our end, and we've got our needle threaded. Put the thread at right angles across the needle and hold it with our finger and thumb. Let's do 4 wraps this time because it's quite a small needle. And then I hold the thread tight whilst you then cross over, so swap your fingers over so that you've got it now in this hand, so that then you can push that along. Hold on to your wraps all the way to the end, and then you get a really nice, quick and easy, neat knot at the end. And actually, if I do this at full speed, what you can see is that you get really quick at it. So that just goes across there, 1, 2, 3, 4, cross it over, and then you're just ready to go. So it takes a little practice, but it's worth learning, because this is good for tacking. So you could have a little knot at the end if you're tacking anything down, or of course if you're hand stitching, if you're hemming, if you're doing appliqué, again you'll do a lot of hand stitching, anything like that, or quilting again, because this knot disappears quite nicely through the layers. You can give it a little tug on your fabric and it'll disappear into your work and between your layers if you're quilting. So I hope that helps. I hope that's given you an idea, Georgina, and thank you very much for being a part of my Facebook group. If anybody else would be interested in joining the Facebook group, then I'll pop a link on the video for you so you can have a look at that and see if you'd like to come. It's just a sewing support group basically, because on my channel, I won't go into too much detail, but basically on the YouTube channel, it feels that I can't interact with you as much as I'd like to and give you the help that I'd like to. It's all a bit one-sided, which is coming from me. And obviously you comment, but there's limited interaction. So if you wanted to pop over there and have a look, I'd be very pleased to see you. Okay, take care everybody. Happy stitching. Bye.